Hello friends, what is up? I hope you're having a great day today. Thank you for joining me. I'm here to talk to you about the PowerA Miniseries Xbox One controller. Now you'll see I have a green screen showing up here. Normally I would have it kind of clearish, but the reason I'm not using the green screen today is because the controller itself is green, and I want to show it to you, and I want to compare each controller to each other. Now this is a controller that I had done searches for online. The Xbox controller has always been uncomfortable for me, always. Since the very first Xbox, I've never liked the default controller included, and I do not have small hands. Alright, here's the Xbox controller. I have big hands. Alright, my hands are big. Okay, look. I closed fingers, open. I mean, I have big hands. All right, I don't, I don't have small hands, but the controller is just not comfortable to me. It's been like that since the first Xbox. I played on the Xbox 360, but I didn't own one, so I haven't played on that for a long time. I wouldn't remember what it was like exactly. But anyways, so. I was reading reviews. One of my buddies had actually linked this controller to me one time. I was telling him, I said, I'm having a really hard time finding a controller for my Xbox One. And I had searched, I could not find anything. Apparently I fail badly at searching online for stuff. I didn't know what to really search for though. I was looking for like Xbox third-party controller, Xbox small controller, and I was not getting the results that I needed. So this guy, with this buddy of mine, I was telling him about it, and 30 seconds after I told him, he comes back with a link to this controller, and I was like, what the hell, man? Like anyways. So I looked it up online. I found a couple reviews for it. One was like kind of like a whatever review, is fine, but then I came across this really in-depth review giving out like all the good and the bad, and it was just really cool. It was a good review. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go check it out. I'll go look on the store. Then I read some customer reviews, and the customer reviews were pretty funny because all of them, pretty much all of them, were talking about how they purchased this controller for their younger brother or sister, and I was like, oh my gosh, so if little kids can use this controller, I can use this controller, of course. And then I got it, pulled it out of the box, and it did feel a little bit too small. It did. So I basically get like a full grip, I feel like I could probably play this one-handed, just it's so funny. Like I could, like cover the friggin' thing with my hand, it's awesome. It's a beautiful little controller, and it just, I can get like a full grip. I feel like I actually have control, every button is within control. And of course, another thing about this is one of my clan members at Call of Duty, he had actually told me about the claw grip. I had no idea what a claw grip. It's using your middle finger for the second button, trigger button, instead of your index finger, which I used to use all the time. And he told me about it. He recommended it to me, and I was like, oh, and it actually did help me for a bit, but I still couldn't get used to I could not ever truly enjoy the Xbox controller. Now here, let's compare size. All right, it's kind of hard to do, but as you can see, the controller, is completely hidden by the Xbox controller. It's just that's how much smaller it is. And then let's see, I got the PS3 controller. I haven't actually picked this up. Yeah, it's even smaller than the PS3 controller. Look at that. And I'm kind of moving it up and down, but I was telling people that was the first thing I noticed. Look at that. It's hidden behind the PS3 controller, and the PS3 controller is kind of small. The PS3 controller is actually slightly smaller than the PS4 controller, right? Slightly smaller than the PS4 controller, and my new my new Xbox controller is slightly smaller than the PS3 controller. That's how small it is. It's really small. So at first starting to use it, it did feel a little weird. It did feel a tiny bit, not uncomfortably weird, just too smallish weird, but overall incredibly comfortable, easy to use. Now, one of my major problems, especially in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, is I like to do the boost a lot. Boost all over. I had pretty much non-stop boost, and that was causing me major aches in my hands. Everything about that controller was causing me cramps and just pain. Not even kidding. Half an hour playing that game, pain in my hands, and I would play for hours because I didn't want to stop playing. But it hurt my hands a lot. Now the thing about that is the joystick, right? Having to press the joystick to do the dash was even more painful because how big and clunky the default controller is. I had such a hard time pressing that button as often as I want. Now apparently, if you get an awkward grip on the controller, it feels fine until you actually want to play with it and your fingers are not in place. You know, like I cannot play with this big clunky controller comfortably anyways. But you know, it depends on the game, of course. Like I said, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, where I have to constantly click that joystick button to dash around, made it really hard on the Xbox controller. This one, I started using the little controller, my little PowerA Miniseries controller. I started using this thing, and no issue hitting that joystick to jump. None. Just I spam it nonstop and don't feel the tiniest bit of pain, and it is awesome. I love it. So I like it. Is sometimes it's a little weird. Sometimes I do have to reposition my fingers. I have to kind of reposition the palm of my right hand a little bit. Not always. Depends if I put the controller down for a second, pick it back up, and then I have to kind of just slightly adjust the palm. But usually it's just overall just great, man. I love it. So it's just an awesome controller. It's really fun. There are some downsides to it. You cannot plug in a microphone, which is terrible, meaning I have to use my Kinect for voice chat, and so I don't have like a really quick and easy mute button for when I want to talk in game and when I want to talk to my viewers on the stream. So that pretty much sucks. Apparently I was looking up reviews and I was looking up things about this, and apparently it's a Microsoft thing. They do not allow third-party controllers to have a headset port. They won't allow them to do it. Another thing, the vibration in the controller is basically non-existent. It's like you can hear the vibration and barely feel it. You know what I mean? So maybe I got a bad battery in my controller. That's possible, that I didn't really get a good battery in it. One of the other things about this controller when I got it was that the down part on the D-pad is kind of funky. It doesn't work perfectly. It often goes down right, left, right, and so the down on my D-pad came broken, brand new, out of the box, didn't work properly. So that sucked. Fortunately, don't use the down on there too often. Pretty much never. Sometimes it is. Selecting loadouts in Call of Duty, it did make that a little weird, but I just started using the analog stick instead. But yeah, so that sucked. I was like, son of a bitch, whatever. I didn't want to go through a refund exchange process thing, so I didn't. I was like, it's the down pad, I'm not going to use it. Sucky, whatever. But I did want to mention that, just so you know. At least I had some other notes. Let me make sure that I've mentioned everything so far about this controller. Originally, I had felt like it felt cheaply made, but and it's not. It's not that it's cheaply made. It's just that it's so small it feels like it's gonna break. You know what I mean? It's just this tiny thing. It feels like it's gonna break. But I've dropped it once so far. Nothing happened. I dropped it after the down pad didn't work. Okay, I already knew the down on the D-pad didn't work. That didn't break the down. It right away. Right, the first thing, I had not dropped it. Okay, so it wasn't that. But I have dropped it once since, and now it's great. It's great. I've had it for probably 2 months. I'm guessing 2 months. I should have looked that up before I did this review. Damn it. But it's pretty cool. I finally did want to do a review because I have played enough with it to tell you, look, this controller is awesome. I love it. It's really cool. I do recommend it. So the thing that sucks is not being able to use the headset with it or any third-party controller. Another thing is, now this is just in general about any games that use the left analog stick as a run button. I hate it. I hate it so much. I was looking into, people were telling me about scuff controllers, and they looked so cool. I'd seen them and heard about them before, and then I was considering it, and I went and looked up the price, and I was like, dude, I might as well just buy another Xbox One. I can't buy a controller that costs the same price as my console. Like, are you out of your damn mind? I would love to, though. That would be cool. And then apparently, because they have different trigger buttons in the back that you can use instead. You can assign them to whatever button you want them to be. They're customized controllers, so they are official Xbox controllers, remapped, customized by other people. So they have the headset port and all that. They're not actually third-party controllers. They're just people go in and actually customize them and remap the keys and whatever. You tell them when you make the order. Anyways, so PowerA Miniseries controller, really loving it. Making sure I'm not missing anything else on my notes here. So yeah, well, like I said, at first it felt like if I would drop it, it would break to pieces. But nah, I mean, dropped it once, and hopefully never drop it again. The controller is like $40, which is already cheaper than the main controller. And I think I'm pretty sure I have a lot more to say on it, but yeah, it's just a cool controller. I wanted to show you how small it is, man. I love the size, and I wasn't expecting to get the green one. I didn't actually pick the green controller. It's really great in my streams when I do the green screen thing. It comes up like all clear, and it looks really neat. But yeah, when I ordered it, I just ordered the controller, and they sent me the green one. So I guess maybe depending on where you order it from, you can pick. There's either green or black, but it seems like they'll probably just send you a random one. I don't know. Anyways. So cool controller. I wish I could remember the other stuff I had to say, but I believe I covered it all. Just really comfortable. Makes me laugh how all the other reviews will tell you. Like if you go look up customer reviews, my little children and my brother and my sister, the little kids, they all really like this controller, and I'm just like, dude, what? Anyways, see you next time. Have a great day, and yeah, game on, peoples.